let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down.
Hey guys, it's Noah. If you can't tell, I got something a little bit different planned for today. This isn't the plan, me just talking to you guys or anything. I'm actually going to be showing you something. But if you guys don't want to hear about this problem, it's a problem I'm having with my GoPro. If you guys don't want to hear about this problem, just go ahead and skip ahead about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I shouldn't take too long on it, and then you'll see what the video is really about and everything. So, all right, guys. So basically, I tried doing this video yesterday, and I went to go edit it, and I was hearing a sound the whole time that sounded like a helicopter going by. It's funny that I say that because there's a plane going by right now. But you should still be able to hear me because I got my new microphone set up. I got this all set up. But I was recording video, and I spent a good amount of time on it, and then next thing you know, I went to edit the video and I just heard a helicopter in the background. I did some research and everything, pulled up on YouTube and online and stuff, and it turns out that I guess there's a piece of my GoPro inside my GoPro that's actually bad, and so now I got to go through support, get a new GoPro, and go from there, which doesn't seem like a lot of fun, but I want to take care of this issue and get a GoPro that works 100%, not just have only a few minor imperfections. I want it to be a good GoPro, obviously, because you're going to spend that much money on a GoPro Hero 4 Black, you're going to want to get your money's worth. So yeah, whenever I record with Bluetooth, I keep saying Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Whenever I record with Wi-Fi and stuff, and I'm looking at my phone and everything, and it's all connected up, it just makes a helicopter noise in the background. It just sounds like doot, 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 doot. I'll actually play a sample for you right here. So hopefully you're able to hear that. All right, so I should be coming back. You guys should have just heard the noise and everything. So right now I have the Wi-Fi turned off, so it's not making that sound, so that records fine. It records perfect, and I got this new microphone hooked up so it wouldn't even be recording through the GoPro microphone. But yeah, that's my problem. So this is going to be kind of a redo. This is why it's not raining right now. I know you guys can't really see that, but it doesn't sound like it's raining in the background. That's why I'm wearing a different outfit, so yeah. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, so we are breaking out my tackle box, and we're gonna take it apart and dissect it and see what I use, see what I find successful. And all right, so I got a few different things in here. I'm gonna go over the whole tackle box basically. So we got my small box that I just got. I just need a little bit extra room to throw some stuff, so I put a couple things in here, and I'm gonna do this one second. The first one I'm gonna do is my main big box right here. I like using a backpack when I'm fishing just because I can carry all my GoPro stuff and I can carry all my lures and everything at the same time. Just makes it more convenient for me. So, if you're trying to do this, if you're trying to start up your own channel, think about that. If it'll help you out a little bit. If you're carrying a backpack instead of a freaking tackle box. Now, all right, so the first bait we got here that I'm going to go over is a Strike King Mini King spinnerbait. You guys should be able to see that pretty well. I'm not using the Wi-Fi because I don't want that audio to get messed up again. This is the chartreuse green, and this one's the black and blue. I use this one to throw at night. I use this one to throw during the day normally. These guys, this is my favorite spinnerbait. These are the only spinnerbaits I use. I've had a lot of success with them. You can catch big fish on them. I've definitely caught a good amount of fish, and definitely good sized fish on them. What you do basically, you can just cast it out, let it sink for a little bit, and go ahead and give it a little pop, and then start reeling, and you're all good to go. Reel at a medium speed just to keep it right in the middle and see what you can get. Normally with these kind of baits, what happens is when you cast them out and you're reeling them in and everything, you don't even need to set the hook when the fish bites onto it. A lot of the times you can just set the hook by reeling in your line still. So that's a great thing about those, and I've been really successful with them, and that's why that's one of my top lures that I love using. I haven't used it a lot recently. I got to start using it in some videos, but it's definitely for sure one of my favorites. All right, so moving on to my next, we're gonna go ahead and just get the most common ones out of the way with. So we got my Senkos. I got one of them Texas rigged right here, and I got the other one wacky rigged right here. This one I throw at night, this one I throw in the day. These are really good. I mean, if you're an angler, you should know what a Senko is. I mean, they're great. They're great to use. I started out using the Gary Yamamoto ones, and these are Strike King brand, and I've had a lot of success with these as well. So I really like them. The Texas rig, the way I like to work it, I like to just toss it out, give it a few seconds, let it sink to the bottom, and give it 2 pops, like not major like you're setting the hook or anything, just a little pop just to go ahead and get it moving along. I mean, you can bounce it off the bottom if you want to. I keep it about in the middle. And yeah, that's how I work that one. Reeling in at a slow, steady pace, whatever. And then with the wacky rig, I work a little bit different. And I'll sit there, cast it out, wait a few seconds, and give it a few more. Then I give it like 3 or 4 pops rather than only like 1 or 2. And I don't really reel that one consistently. I just kind of, you know, every once in a while, I'll just reel in some slack. And the reason why I have it set up, this one's set up for day, because this is the type I like to use in the day. The Texas rig is that rig is the way I like it set up during the day. The wacky rig I set up for night, because when it's moving, it'll get this motion of like bouncing like that. That'll displace the water a little bit more, add a little bit more movement and vibration to the water. So that's why I choose to go with the wacky rig at night. All right, next we got here another one of my favorites. I love the topwater bite, and these bad boys are definitely one of the #1 topwater lures, other than like frogs and stuff. We got right here buzz baits. I love using them. This one I obviously use at night or in like murky water. This one, the chartreuse, I love working in the day. I mean, they're both good baits. You know, I enjoy using them. I enjoy seeing the type of fish that just smash these on top. I mean, the reaction you get out of the fish is amazing. So these, what you want to do, you want to cast them out, you want to work them on top, so hold your rod tip up a little bit extra and just reel at a steady pace, and it'll bring it along the top. It'll just sound like what it's called, a buzz bait. It'll sound like a little buzz on top, and then next thing you know, you'll hear something smash out of the water. So next thing we got here are 2 jigs. I just started getting into jigs. When I was growing up, I was only using worms and using spinner baits for the most part. So I just got into jigs. I really like them. I like throwing the black and the blue at the night. That's what really got me into them, because I caught 15 fish the first night I went night bassing. And you know, I caught a whole bunch of fish, and this thing has been one of my favorite lures ever since. So I throw that one at night. I throw this one during the day. They're good lures. The way, I know there's so many different ways to work them, but I'm not really knowledgeable on all the different kinds there are and how to work them all. I know there are finesse jigs, swim jigs, all kinds of jigs. But the way I like to work these is I'll sit there, I'll cast them out, I'll reel them in at a decent pace, but what I'll do is I'll pop it 3 times and then wait, and then reel in a little bit of slack, pop it 3 times again, reel in a little bit of slack. That's how I work it. The fish normally grabs and holds on, and then you gotta really set the hook, and you just rip back and you should be able to catch the fish. So next, what we got just going down the line now is the chatterbait. I just got into these bad boys as well. There's another black and blue, because I'm getting all these black and blues because when I night fish, that's what they love hitting. So I got all these different ones. This one's a little bit smaller. It's in the chartreuse and white. Chatterbaits are a really good bait. Basically, you just set it up, and you're going to work kind of like a spinnerbait. Toss it out, let it run in the middle of the water, and so you got to find your reeling pattern to see where it's going to be running right in the middle of the bottom and top of the water. But they're a good bait to use. You'll feel a vibration on your pole. That's how you can tell that it's got good action through the water. And I mean, it's another great bait to use. I've had a lot of catches just being able to reel in the fish, not even having to set the hook. So that's probably another bait that you can sit there and just keep reeling to set the hook. All right, so we're still going through them, and what we got next is another topwater favorite of many anglers. We got the frogs. Everybody loves frogs. Well, almost everybody loves frogs. These things are great. The only thing that's tough about them sometimes is you really got to set the hook. Sometimes, you know, they can set themselves on the hook, but a lot of the times you got to go ahead and set it yourself. I mean, that's fine with me, but I know a lot of people get upset because they miss a lot of fish like that. I don't usually miss too many, but basically what you want to do is you want to cast this bad boy out. I like to give it a few pops right off the bat and then just let it sit for a couple seconds, give it a few pops again, just let it sit for a couple seconds, because a lot of the times when you let it sit for a little bit, that's when the fish smashes it. Sometimes when you're doing the pops, that's when the fish smashes it. Another great topwater bite. I love using this thing, and I'm going to keep using it, obviously. So moving right along, we're going to just real quick go over the poppers. I know this one looks like he's been through it all. He's been chewed up and everything. He doesn't even have a tail anymore. I still use him though. He's got good color. I like the color. I got to get a new one. And then I got another one over here, just a little bit of a different shape. That's a good one as well that I use. You know, I love these things. I work them basically like I work the frog. I'll give them like 1 or 2 pops, and then I'll let them sit for a few seconds. I'll give them 1 or 2 pops again. So that's how I work those as well. And it's, you know, another topwater bite. These you can let sit there for a little while longer, and these are also going to be something you don't really have to rip out of the fish's mouth to catch it. This is something when it's got those, well, it's got 1 treble hook and then a double hook on the bottom, but that's something more of the fish will set itself on the hook. I mean, you still obviously want to give it a little bit of a pop, but that's more of the fish will set it more of the times than not, especially compared to the frog. So we're going to keep going along here. We got next something I'm going to go over that I've lost faith in. It's the Jitterbug. I mean, I used to love this thing. It's got 2 treble hooks. It's got a great sound to it when it's going through the water. I just don't use them anymore that much, honestly. I've just lost faith in them. I stopped catching fish on them a lot of the times. I use frogs and poppers now, and the Jitterbug just doesn't do what it used to do for me. So I've lost faith in these guys, but I wouldn't recommend you to. You know, at least go out and try tossing a few and see if you can get something. They're a great bait. They got some great action on them, and they got a great sound to them. All right, so next we got here are some kind of like, if I can get them unhooked without hooking myself. This isn't my favorite color. This is just one of my lucky lures that I had like since I was a little kid. It's got the red treble hooks on there, and it's we call it a -1. It just dives down about a foot, and this isn't really my favorite lure. This is more my dad's favorite lure. That's why I keep it in. I still keep them in my tackle box though, just in case I ever want to throw them. I mean, they're good crankbaits. They got a rattle in them, so I mean, if you got a black one and stuff, they're good to use at night as well. They're good to use in murky water because the fish can actually hear them and everything. It's just I don't use them too much, but that's something that I always like to keep in my tackle box just in case I want to throw it. And the last one that we're going to really go over in this box is going to be the swim bait. I only got one in here. I'm starting to get more into the swim baits and everything. This one's an old one. This one's one of my old favorite lures to use, so that's why I got it in here. But I'm starting to get back into them. It's got that treble hook on there and then the hook up the back. Basically, you can work these, if you want to work them fast, you can work them fast. If you want to work them at a medium speed, like a spinnerbait, you can work them at that as well. Just basically as long as they're up above the grass level of the whatever you're fishing. So I work those like that. And you know, a lot of fish do like swim baits. I've just had more success with other lures. But I mean, I would definitely recommend at least trying to get a few in your tackle box. It doesn't have to be that exact same one. You can go whatever color you like. They got a bunch of different colors out there. And it doesn't always have to be with the treble hook. I like the treble hook a little bit better because it helps the fish stay on a little bit easier. But I mean, if you just want the hook through the back, that's fine too. I got some of those in another box I'll show you. All right, so we're done with that box, so we're moving on to the little one. I only got a few things. It's going to be really quick in here. These are some of the new stuff that I want to kind of get into. So I got, like right here, swim bait, just a little smaller swim bait without the treble hook. I got 3 of those, came in a 3-pack from Strike King, or I'm sorry, Storm. Really want to start trying those. I got some discounted stuff. I got some crankbaits or whatever, jerk baits, whatever. So it's got 2 treble hooks on there. It's got the black and silver. I mean, it looks good to me. I'm definitely going to be trying those. I got a little bit of a more expensive one not on sale. That one's like a bluish at the top and silver on the bottom, and it's got an actual lip on it, so that it'll dive a little bit deeper if I'm fishing some rivers. We got a cheap old popper right there, 2 treble hooks on it. Like I said, a lot of these were on sale. And then we got 2 little crankbaits, whatever, just in case I want to toss them. We got those 2 bad boys. So that's all that's really in here. I've started using a couple new things that I'll show you guys. I started using these jig heads with the weed guard on them. You can throw basically whatever you want, whatever kind of trailer you want on those, and they turn out to work pretty good. You can work them just like a jig. But yeah, so that's basically for that box. So now let's also take a look at the lines that I carry with me and the tools that I carry with me. All right, so the #1 tool that you need for your toolbox is a set of pliers. I got a little bit of a longer nose tool, longer nose pliers, just so in case the hook's set a little bit deeper, I can go ahead and really get in there. You know, these are definitely an essential to keeping inside your box at all times. We got Rapala Grippers, and they're basically like locking pliers, but you put it on the fish's lip and you can lock it down, and then you can sit there, you can take your scale and you can hook it up and just weigh it. Makes it a lot easier to weigh the fish. I mean, I like lipping the fish and everything, but when it comes to actually getting the weight on them, I definitely recommend going with a set of these. So next thing you need for your tackle box is obviously a scale. I got a digital scale right here. It's been pretty accurate with me. I've tested it on other scales and everything. This is the Amazon special. I got it off Amazon. And basically, it hooks up perfectly with these Rapala Grippers. So you can sit there, you can take it, because that hook's gonna be tough to get into the fish's gill and you don't wanna hurt it or anything. So I take it, can hold it right there. Makes it so much easier to weigh the fish and get an accurate measurement on it. Just when you put it on there, just zero it out after you hooked up the Rapala Grippers, and you'll be set. So the scale is definitely another thing that I would recommend, especially if you want to document how big your fish are, and especially if you're in like tournaments and stuff. And I also have, take out all 3 of them, I also have 3 things aligned with me. So right here I got 12-pound fluorocarbon, 20-pound braid, and 15 or 10 pound, 15 pound. I also got some 10 pound in there of mono. Basically, I take a line with me just in case, you know, something happens, a really bad bird's nest. I got a friend who like messed up his reel or something like that, needs a new line. Always hold on to stuff like this just in case something happens, because you never know when anything like that's going to happen. And also to just prepare for that braid, because I used to always bite through the mono or the fluorocarbon and everything. And when you start working with braid, you realize that you can't really bite through that. So get some scissors. I just paid a few dollars to get some Rapala ones. They cut through that braid like it's nothing, because my teeth can't do it. So definitely recommend all that stuff. I definitely recommend, you know, trying out a whole bunch of different lures. If you guys, you know, have any lures that you really like that you want me to go over, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Send me a message or something. I hope you guys liked the video. I know it wasn't, you know, as normal with me doing like the editing and the actually like playing like songs and everything and all that stuff, but I just wanted to give you guys the 4-on-1 on my tackle box and what I try to like to use, so maybe you can go out and you can try to catch some of the same fish that I do with it.